Hi people, how are you? Will be back to my YouTube channel. I'm Victorianannozi. In case you're new here and in case you're returning, thank you very much. First things first, in case you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Yes, press the red button around here. It's free of charge, so please thank you. So today is a Sunday and it means it's time for trending stories with me, Victoria Nannozi. What is trending where you are? Remember, these are always my thoughts. Like, they are stories that have happened, but I add my thoughts onto them. Yes, there are always stories that catch my mind along the week. What story caught your mind along the week? Of course, there are always 5 in number. And before we start the first story, today is Easter Sunday. Happy Easter Sunday to you all. I know it does not feel like Easter to all of us, because to most of us, because it got us in this corona season, and it found most of us at home, and it found some of us not with the people that we usually celebrate Easter with. But you know what? Jesus died and he resurrected for me and you, and he has got our backs, and he's going to take us through this season, and we shall come out victorious. And yes, we shall hear recovery stories. We shall hear that there are no more deaths of coronavirus. Let's straight away go to the first story, which is so the first story is coming in from China, where Chinese are discriminating against Africans, accusing them of spreading coronavirus or COVID-19. I want us to all to remember that before coronavirus spread to any part of the world, it was first in China. It is China that first reported coronavirus, and yes, this was after it had run out of hand. This is after they were losing so many people. But otherwise, people are coming out to say that the first cases of coronavirus were reported in China in November last year. That was in November 2019. And now these Chinese are coming saying, blaming Africans to be spreading the virus. They've gone to an extent of refusing them from sleeping in any hotel. So Africans are literally sleeping on streets in China.
They're just not away. They don't even allow us to stay one place. We are just walking on the road. You see, they cannot give us house. They cannot give us hotel. They cannot provide a place we can stay. They are just following us. You see, they are just following us. They don't want us to stay one place. After we have spent 15 days in the hotel, after quarantine us for 15 days, they cannot allow us to stay one place. They didn't give us any hotel. They are still chasing us.
Hotel after quarantine for 14 days. So the thing. We are open now. No good outside. So Monday we are here. We follow the ashes to no maha. So men's money. So you are here for now. We are on a deal. We are on a deal. We are in the sauce on the buy. Sauce on deal. Sauce on deal. So, yeah, the thing. Enough, medically.
And yet, most of them have lockdowns in their countries. Most of them are not allowed to actually fly back to their countries. Like, for example, in Uganda, no one is allowed to fly back to the country until a given period of time. We don't know when that is coming to an end, but for now, no one is allowed to come in apart from cargo planes. Those ones are totally and completely allowed to come to the country. But people are not allowed to come into the country. So I'm looking at what people are going through in China. There's a certain clip of a Ugandan lady I was looking at, and she was saying she has stayed in China. She's actually working in China, but even her landlord refused to take rent. That she was saying that there are messages circulating that are being sent to Chinese about Africans and telling them that Africans are sick, that Africans have coronavirus, and on top of that they've gone ahead to forcefully check Africans. Yes, even the Africans that are staying there, even the Africans that just went there for business and who have been in quarantine are being checked by the Chinese government. And yes, they are told that in case you're negative, they will not get back to you. In case you're positive, they'll get back to you. So that is the state that Africans are in. And my plea is African governments should come out to help these people. We should all know that China is having so many Chinese in different parts of the world. And one of the places where they are is Uganda. Just before there was a lockdown, just before the president of Uganda refused people from coming into Uganda, the Chinese who are brought and bribed their way and they bribed at the airport, and they were taken to a certain hotel in Naguru where people saw them and reported them, and the ministry picked them up. And then there are some of them who are trying to escape through Zombo district and were heading to Congo. They got them, and 2 of them had coronavirus. Can you imagine? And these are the people, these are Chinese who are just coming in from China. They were coming to Africa for safety. They were running away from their countries, and now it is them who are discriminating against Africans who have the least cases compared to any nation in the world. Africa has the least of the least cases. Yes, and it has both recovery cases and least death. But here are they discriminating Africans and letting other people who are not Africans freely roam around in their country. So my plea is that African governments come out to help Africans that are in China, because we don't know where this is going to end. We don't know what is going to happen to these people, and we feel our governments should come out and address this. I love the fact that the Nigerian representative or the Nigerian ambassador came out to actually go and confront the Chinese people. And
14 days. Yeah. We agree with you. Absolutely. Yeah. You communicated to us. Yeah. Absolutely. That any foreigner coming to Guangzhou must be quarantined for 14 days. Mm-hmm. In Nigeria, any foreigner going to Nigeria must be quarantined for 14 days. Yeah. After the quarantine of 14 days, if they tested negative, they were given paper release. In China, if they tested positive, they were given paper release and go. If they tested positive, it's the responsibility of Nigeria, the responsibility of Guangzhou and China as a large to treat them. So far, so good. We have some Nigerians that tested positive, and then they are receiving treatment in 8 hospitals. I don't think we have ever disturbed you for one day that you should release them for us. You are treating them fine. No, you are treating them fine. You are okay with it. And then you do mention to me at the last meeting I have with you that they are going to treat them free of charge without collecting any money from them.
In hospital or
in the hospital.
Okay.
That's what you told us.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we sincerely thank you for that. In Nigeria, all the foreigners, including Chinese that they arrived from UK,
also free of charge?
Also free of charge.
That's good.
The Chinese arrived from United Kingdom of London. And they were treated freely. I can give you the video. Yeah. I'm coming.
Okay. Please, as simple as possible.
As simple as possible.
Because
we don't have much time.
Yeah, sure.
In that case, why is it Nigerians in Guangzhou, in Guangdong, didn't travel out of Guangdong for more than several years. They have been in Guangdong, they didn't travel. Why are they quarantined them? That is one.
Okay.
You didn't notify us that you are going to pick all the...
From there, he was actually attacked. Can you imagine? So I'm wondering, how are Africans going to be? They are sleeping on streets. They are not allowed in hospitals. There is a clip of a woman who went to a hospital and she was not allowed because she's to be checked in a hospital because she's an African. They are not allowed to sleep in hotels. They are not allowed to do anything in China, in any Chinese related business. Can you imagine? So African governments, please come out and help fellow Africans. Let them come back to their motherland until the situation comes back to normal. That leads me to story number 2, which is Africans are becoming creative in this coronavirus season. Yes, a doctor in Makerere came up with a ventilator. In case you don't know a ventilator, I'm going to be sharing it. And these ventilators are used for treating coronavirus patients. So this doctor came up with one that is cheap. Those ventilators that are used for treating coronavirus patients are very expensive. They go for around $1,500. So a doctor from Makerere came up with one that is very cheap and very affordable, and it is yet to be launched in Uganda. And he's not the only one. Also, a doctor in Ghana came up with a full face mask that someone can wear. It is very light, very convenient, and it can be worn by anyone. Yes, it can be worn by anyone. So this season, however much it is a very hard season that we are going through, but I love the fact that people are being creative and very creative. And then there are also companies that have come up and started manufacturing masks. Yes, companies that have come up and started manufacturing sanitizers, and this is all because of this season. And one of the reasons as to why I'm loving it is I've been using sanitizers for a very long time, and they have always been coming in from the outside world. Now the fact that we are supposed to use them by default, we are supposed to use them by default. Different companies have come up to make these sanitizers in African countries. And one of the things the president of Uganda said was we should now look at starting to import these sanitizers. We should look at starting to import these masks. We should look at starting to import these ventilators, in case many, when they launch the ventilators and they do work very well, the next step will be importing them to other countries. Yes, that is good for the African economy. And we should note that China refused people from exporting masks out of China because they also need them. So this season is very, very good because it has brought out more creativity in the African people and created jobs at that. Story number 3 is coming in from Uganda, where the president of Uganda stopped Ugandans from going out to jog. Yes, we should all know that in Uganda we should all know that in Uganda there is a partial lockdown. Yes, people were stopped from using public transport, people are stopped from using public transport of any means. That's to say taxis, borders, and then even private transport. For people who are using private transport, they have to get stickers, but they have to be among the category of essential people, like essential work. Your work has to be essential. That means if you are in media, if you're taking a sick person, if you're doing a delivery service for food, you are late to move. But if you're not doing any of that, then you have to stay home or you walk. Yes, and why was that done? Because people had failed to practice social distancing. Now here, people who are stopped from doing all this, they decided to go ahead and jog, and in the process of jogging, they are not social distancing. Most of them would make cliques. they would run from their homes, go to the streets and make small cliques and do not social distance. So the president of Uganda said, no, you should stop jogging and do exercises from your home. And he demonstrated this with a video that made rounds on social media.
Good to go outside, outdoors when there's no problem. But when there's need, you can go indoors. This is just an office. Because I don't have time, I always do my exercise here, or even in my home, my room. So you start by warming up. You can do as many laps as you want. Count. That too.
Story number 4 comes in from Uganda, where we have 15 patients who have recovered from coronavirus. That is very good, and we give thanks to God on such a day. Imagine 15 of them. We had 53 cases, and out of the 53, 15 have recovered, and as of yesterday, 3 of them were discharged. Yes, there was a function that was held and they were discharged, and they refused to show their faces because they said they do not want to be stigmatized by the public. And yes, I think they are right to say that their faces should not be shown, because there is so much stigmatization out here. So I'm glad that we are celebrating Easter, and we are celebrating with good news of 15 people recovering, 3 of them having been discharged by the Ministry of Health, and 15 of them are either going to be discharged on today on Sunday, or are going to be discharged on Monday. Wow, we give thanks to God. And yes, I'm so happy that you're having recovery cases, because people were wondering why we are not getting any recovery case. Why where are we lying with all this? But we thank God that these people have recovered. Different tests have been done on them. More than 1 test or more than 2 tests have been done on them, and confirmed that they are totally and completely healed and are free from COVID-19, and they are freely going back to their homes. So story number 5, which is the last story today, comes in from Uganda, where the Minister of Internal Affairs, Honorable Sam Kutesa, blocked the repatriation of Ugandans who are stranded in Abu Dhabi. Yes, there was a document that was circulating on social media where they're saying, in case you're stranded, you contact these people and tell them, and you'll be repatriated back to Uganda. But guess what? No one is allowed to come in Uganda. Whether you are a national or a foreigner, it is only cargo that is allowed to come in Uganda. So he blocked it, and we understand why. It's because of this season that he blocked it, and it's because no one is allowed to come into the country. And okay, that was a good move. So I was like, okay, that was a good move that the minister did. But then on second thought, I thought to myself, and I was like, but Uganda, but Africans are being mistreated in China? What do we know these Africans are going through in Abu Dhabi? What do we know these Ugandans are going through in Abu Dhabi? Not Africans but what do we know Ugandans are going through in Abu Dhabi? We've had reports of Ugandans coming out on social media to say we are being mistreated. Some have died. Some have got injuries that have been caused by the people that they've worked for in United Arab Emirates. And I'm like, what is going on with those that are stranded? So I'm thinking is the government should come out and help these people through the ambassador, make sure that they are fine, send them help until transport is open again and until people are let to come into Uganda. It should be noted that the 14 days of quarantine of Uganda started on 1st April and they are ending on 14th April. No one knows whether they are going to be extended or they are not going to be extended, but the thing is, most of us think that they may be extended for reasons that are known. For example, there are some people who went and mixed with who bribed their way at the airport and mixed with other people, and some of them have not yet been checked. Some have been checked, some have not yet been checked. So when they clear out all this, I think we shall be led to move yet again. So we are praying for this to happen. We want to see the country back to normal, and we are praying for all Ugandans that are in different countries and all Africans who are in different countries and are going through a lot. Those who are sleeping on streets, those who are stranded, those who have nothing to eat. That the African governments, like I started while saying, should look through this and should let their nationals come back to the land of the African man. That has been me, Victorianannozi, trending with Victoria. What stories trended where you are? You can share them with me in the comment section. Let me know what trended where you are. Remember, it is Easter today. Happy Easter once again, and just know we are going to walk out of this season and we are going to walk out of it celebrating and thanking God that, you know what, we are here, but you've taken us out. But as we do that, don't forget to sanitize, don't forget to wash your hands, don't forget not to touch your soft parts. If you have been delivered 2 things, please sanitize them, wash your hands, and you will not get this virus. See you in the next one. Bye bye. See